Hey friends, now that we know that roughly 70% of all American households have a pet, let's talk about what it looks like to qualify and accept a pet for your rental property. The first thing I'm going to say is regarding specifically cats. I, as a rule, don't accept any cats that don't have proof that they're spayed or neutered. In my experience, cats that aren't spayed or neutered typically spray all over the house. And that is a smell that is just really hard to get rid of. And to get rid of it, it's very, very expensive. And typically, the pet deposit or whatever fees you take for that are not going to cover the amount of damage that it created. So no cats that haven't been spayed or neutered. Now, talking more about dogs or pets in general, you'll want to know what kind of breed it is. A lot of insurance companies have restrictions on what types of breeds they will allow for their insurance. Typically, it's aggressive breeds, and you'll want to make sure you're not putting one of those in there that's going to risk your ability to insure your property. So if you have any questions about or concerns about what the actual breed is, there's a couple of different ways that you can verify that. Now, a lot of us, we adopt our pets now. I'm one of them. So we don't exactly know what the breed is. But it's my understanding that if you go to a veterinarian, they'll be able to run some tests and give you a good idea of really what the breed is. So if you have any concerns, ask your renter prospect to provide that information. And while they're at the vet, make sure they get their information that shows that they're up to date on their vaccinations and they've had all their shots. Another thing is you'll want to make sure that the pet themselves is the right fit for your property and for your neighborhood. For example, if you've got a one-bedroom condo on the second story, you're probably not going to want to accept a Great Dane. Just might not be the best fit, and the neighbors might not appreciate that. And we want to be respectful of our neighborhoods. The single best thing that you can do to check on the pet, and if you've seen my videos, you know how much I love landlord verifications. So when you're talking to current and previous landlords, make sure to ask about the pets. Did that landlord have any issues? Was there any complaints? Did that animal do any damage to that property? That is going to tell you more than anything else as far as what that pet acts like, how it behaves. Another thing I like to do is meet the pet if possible. It'll give you a really good idea of how that pet really acts. If it's bouncing off the walls, tearing around, there's probably a good chance it's going to do some damage to your property, and you may want to think twice about that. The other thing is when you meet it, if it seems aggressive, if you go to pet it and it growls or snarls at you, that might be a sign that's maybe not the best fit for your property, and again, being respectful of the neighbors. So here's just a couple of tips, and in the next video, we'll talk about how to write it in your lease and protections that you have if you should accept a pet. Rent easy, we'll talk to you soon.